Jones not black? Joy Reid not black?
He black.
Sonny Hostin not black?
Black, yes.
They're allowed to express their opinion.
Is he on the Van Jones network?
This is crazy.
Is Van Jones
Joy
on the
Reid's
Van
numbers
Jones
were dog
network?
shit. That's why she got fired.
Is
Just
he
like
on
Jimmy
the
Kimmel.
Van Jones network?
So
No,
now
he's
Jimmy
not.
Kimmel's numbers are bullshit, but nevertheless, though, you had a national outcry where ABC had to retract and bring him back. I mean,
Someone from the left also shot up an ABC
affiliate.
affiliate.
Huh?
Someone from the left also shot up an ABC affiliate, so that was a big deal.
See, again, Steve, we can go back and forth all day. The broader context
Shout out
is
to
the
Steven
fact that
Crowder. I do believe he needs to have a little bit more control on those deeds back and forward. He needs to have more control. He needs more debate skills. He's very smart, but he needs a little bit more debate skills. He's just basically kind of brawling this debate.
you know what?
You know what I mean?
There is a part of white America that needs to acknowledge the fact that, look, even if reparations is not going to happen, because we damn well know it's not, right? At least stop preventing us from moving forward. Listen, do you know?
I don't know how we are.
Do you know right now, in the venture capitalist world, 97.3% of their money, their lending, goes to actual white firms. Now, there was a movement in Georgia where these women were given $20,000 to other women contestants because they had a little small minority component over there, right? That went to court, and they said you cannot do that because it is discrimination, but nobody ever challenged the VC, okay? So you explain to me, now again, we're within our own trying to build up.
Shout out to the people that have sponsored the show today. I really appreciate that.
Discrimination. See, it's funny how there's an outcry whenever we do the exact same damn thing.
You don't do the exact same thing. Crime statistics aren't the same thing.
But you're talking crime.
Because you know what? What I'm talking about. No, but what I'm talking about is there are young white kids who don't get good breaks either, right? They have some tough breaks and they don't commit crime in record fucking numbers. And blaming them for this country.
There's a lot of black people that don't commit crime in record numbers.
Statistically, it's not the same thing. There's most of them. Most of them. Most black people don't. But a young white kid is 12 times as likely to be murdered by a black male than the other way around. In other words, white people, like you said, we're not going in killing black people. That it is absolutely a fact.
So hard to
what if it is true, guys? What if that stat is true?
Where is this happening?
Yo, bro, they're so full of it.
The real earth. What if it's true? Hey, what if I could show you the clip and Donald Trump said, one second. Look, I'm the fucking minority here. I get it, right? I'm outnumbered. But what if Donald Trump actually said what I just said? And why don't you know? What if the stat I'm giving you is true? And why don't you know? At a certain point, hey, if you want to blame institutional,
you publicize everything.
If you want to blame a systemic, institutionalized, right, wrongdoing, maybe you should look at you guys being misinformed.
The whole thing is fucked up.
Yeah.
That's my
So we
point. The whole
misinformed about
thing is
Donald Trump. The military going into
12-time murder.
Is that misinformation as well?
What was that?
Is that misinformation?
I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
Is that misinformation when you look at Donald Trump ordering the ICE to go into primarily black cities along with the FBI? Is that misinformation? When you talk about New Orleans,
what else can we say about those cities? What else can we say about those cities?
Question, Steve. I'm asking a question. Is that misinformation? See,
the way you're presenting it, yeah.
No, Steve, I asked you.
Is it because they're black, or is it because they're sanctuary cities?
See, that's saying
that's
another bullshit term that you guys have adopted on the right.
Let's go, Steven Crowder. That's what I'm talking about. You have to come up with that same energy. You see how they start backing off?
Come on, man.
That's what I'm saying.
It's an actual policy. It's an actual
dismissal.
policy where they don't deport and they actually subsidize illegal. You hear about Aurora, Colorado?
Steve, I'm gonna share something.
And I'm with the Latino.
I hope I don't lose my job behind what I'm about to share with you.
Yeah,
Let me tell you something.
I hope you don't either.
Let me tell you something right now.
He's doing very
There
good.
is a big push with this immigration bullshit that is placating the public. Because let me tell you something. When they come to this country, the minute they hit the shore, the first thing they do is call and say that I want Medicaid. And guess what? By law, there is a record called non-citizen emergency expedited Medicaid. We have to give it to them, all right? So if you want to turn around and talk about immigration, then you got to talk about the corporations and stop incentivizing this shit to happen,
And
all right?
nobody's asking why they got to pay
Nobody says that. No, nobody talks about that.
I agree with you. Why did Kamala Harris say that illegal aliens can't get Medicaid?
But the problem
I agree with
existed,
you.
the problem existed long before Kamala Harris, though.
No, what I'm telling you is that the left. Why do you think we have a government shutdown right now?
But that's what I'm saying.
Right now, because the left wants
government shutdown because of healthcare. It got that damn thing.
healthcare for who's going to be beneficiary? Illegal aliens.
Yeah.
But see, you say that, but
You shouldn't pay for it. I agree,
That's
right?
like
Someone
saying
illegally.
illegal aliens can vote.
Yo,
You
he's
damn well know
locked
they
in.
can't.
He's
Of
locked
course they
in.
can.
No, they can't.
How do we do
How many
it?
instances have you seen?
How many states have voter ID?
Yeah, correct. It's the politics. It's the politics is so bad, man. Listen, I would not even have problem with a lot of these ghettos, right? But the politics is so off because they're not instructing themselves. They're not doing their homework. And I believe that because they're surrounded by this kind of culture, for them, it becomes normalized. then law doesn't become real. The concept of branches of government doesn't become real. So you start having these conversations, and all they put themselves in a position of victims. That's not true. Not true for what? You'd send me? Or the video?
When look, man, I'm from Louisiana originally. Okay, when I go to vote, damn it, the first thing they ask me to do is, please let me see your ID.
Yeah, how many states have voter ID?
Okay, then you tell me the number. You got the number.
It's over 20 that don't.
So over 20 states that don't.
We were told illegals couldn't get on Medicaid, but here they are.
But I just told you that.
I agree with you.
That is something that has been going on in this country for damn years. Because you know why?
So let's deport them.
Who's the corporate benefactors? If you're gonna do that, then make sure that.
Well, you know why? Do you know about the census rule change?
No.
And by the way, this actually directly harms the black community, specifically the black community in a lot of ways, because you have a much more comparable percentage of the population to like Hispanics, right? More than white people. You're close, depending on the state. The census rule that they wanted to change, which you can thank Donald Trump for reversing, was going to count people in the household whether they were legal or not. Do you realize that would actually change district seats, voting patterns, and the electoral college? Why should someone here illegally be able to be counted?
The electoral college does need to be changed.
My point is, it would have been changed based on illegal immigrants. People who, and you know what else is pretty, hey, there's also a pathway to citizenship from the Democrat Party. So if you vote for us, you're going to get your free shit. And you know who pays for it? All of us. And you tend to have more Hispanic people in the black community who are there illegal. You live in closer proximity. My woman is Hispanic. She's Latina. Of course, she's nuts. But she'll tell you, because she has family members who are here legally, they're not at risk. Sanctuary cities are a problem.
What about the companies that employ these illegal immigrants?
See, the problem is that you see how they're ready to just simply jump in and not address the argument. They just keep jumping from one argument to the other and not admitting whether or not what Steven Crowder said, right, is true or not.
They keep
punish them all.
Yeah, because once again,
punish them all.
Somebody.
Are you gonna punish the hand that feeds you? Come on,
hold on. I'm asking a question.
Yeah.
The companies that employ these illegal aliens, they're profiting not only by the normal margin, by an increase because they're paying less to these people. But one thing, living in Texas and Louisiana, who gonna pick that fruit?
Oh, plenty of white people. Plenty of white people. Plenty of white people.
White people ducked around for picking that.
Didn't you see that? Didn't you see that? There was Ohio, I think it was Toledo, the meat packing plants. Once they said we can't hire illegal aliens, it was a line around the block of white people. Do you realize that the enrollment in the trades has gone up? This idea.
They was inside. I said out there in that sun.
That's not true, because I'm telling you right now, if they tell me, hey, go pick up some fruit for $20 to $30 an hour, I'll do it. The thing is, the reason they like to just get very low, cheap labor is because they don't have to pay the taxes, Social Security, state taxes, federal taxes, Medicaid. They don't have to pay it. They can simply just give them $100, $120 cash, and they don't have to report that. That's what it is.
Get out there, son, get them strawberries.
Hey,
who gonna get them peaches and them apples?
You know who did that? Me.
Ain't no white people out there doing that.
Did you know I did that?
That was
one of my jobs.
Ain't no white people out there.
I did a part-time job working in an orchard, and then I worked construction. Why wouldn't we do it?
How many white people? You might have been out there as an individual. That's what I'm saying. It's just because it happens. How many of them was out there? I done drove by the fields.
They weren't out there because it's slave labor.
And seen them Latinos out there.
They don't want to see that.
I never thought I would see a black man advocate for modern slavery, because that's what that is. That's modern slavery. That's modern slavery.
So he's saying he's hard work, but you want illegals to do it for cheaper? It's just pure slavery.
No. That's hard work, man.
They shouldn't be here illegally.
Somebody got to get that cabbage out there. Somebody got to get
what, you're okay with slavery? I just don't get it.
Somebody got to do that. White people not going to do that.
Of course we will.
Once again, when the work got hard, that's when they went and got slaves.
Yeah, white people don't know hard work.
The Indians broke down.
Yeah.
They went and got black people. They got the Chinese. They conned them in doing the railroad, like you said.
Hey, they don't want to have a conversation.
Work get hard, white people ran from that kind of work. So if you can't tell me in 2025 you're going to go find one of them new generation upset white boys that's going to get out there and climb that tree. I'm telling you,
it's a statistical reality. I'm telling you. And hey, what do you think happens when people coming from the third world aren't working here illegally as modern day indentured servants, slaves? What do you think happens when they're not there? Wages go up. Why would you pay more when you can have someone who's off the books, you can threaten with deportation, pay him dog shit? By the way, that hurts your wages too.
Well, exactly, that's the point. Oh my God, that's the point. That's the point. He cannot even understand what he's saying.
people, you got to pay them more because that is somewhat a form of slave. That's some hard work out there.
But yeah, but
That's
what
some
you're
hard
saying,
work out
bro.
there. But the companies that employ the Tropicanas, the Del Montes, the Libby's, all those companies that get the people, somebody got to get them green beans. All those companies are profiting from that cheap labor. Somebody got to pay. So if they're profiting from that,
I agree.
Those are the companies that need to be punished.
They should be punished. And
Jack of Whiskey with $5 super chat is when I was a semi-pro in the Key West, I turned heads in my. Thank you so much for the super chat. I don't know if you're trolling or not.
government that incentivizes it should be punished.
You don't.
Well, thank you so much for
Whoever
Government is incentivized it because they're stealing food from your kids' mouth.
The borders.
We can agree on that, hopefully.
I'm all with that. But if you gonna let them in here and somebody gonna profit off of it, make them folks have to.
But he's not even understanding his own argument.
If you punishing somebody, if you making that kind of profit off that illegal labor, you got to make it so punitive that I don't need to get that illegal labor because it's killing my profit.
But if we apply it, and I agree with you, punish them, right? I agree with you 100%. Wouldn't we also apply it to sanctuary cities that have harbored illegal aliens and prevented the deportation? By the way, you know Barack Obama
a
deported.
Sanctuary city, that's a city where you can come if you're an illegal alien.
And they will protect you from deportation.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Exactly.
That's
That's
what
what
I
I
was born here.
That's what he's been saying, but you cannot listen.
I was born here, so I don't give a damn about nobody that's illegally over here. If you ain't supposed to be over here, you got to deal with it.
I agree.
You got to deal with it.
I agree, and anyone who's
I'm
sponsored it should
legally
be
here.
punished.
My kids was born here.
Yep.
My mom and my daddy was born here. My grandparents was born here, and they.
Yeah.
So
But
we
you here
here.
acting
so
crazy,
if
man.
you're not supposed to be here and you don't go through the legal channel, you got to deal with the consequences of that.
Yep.
Yeah,
No, I agree.
I'm not here for harboring nobody.
I am for legally having a path to citizenship.
Now, legal,
Right.
that's
A
different. Legal
pathway,
immigration
but-
is different.
Yeah.
I agree.
Legal immigration is
They
different.
don't
And by the way, it
understand
shouldn't be
their own
easy.
positions.
It shouldn't be easy.
You should have to pass some tests.
it is kind of.
You should have to pass some tests to
it's a
prove
lot of-
that you're going to be here.
Because you're
going to contribute.
Once again,
Yeah, I agree.
Once again, if I just went to Montreal. If I wanted to move to Montreal, I'd have to do some shit.
Oh, yeah.
To like it'd take like 3 years for me to officially become
Legally,
a citizen,
yeah.
and there's a lot of stuff that I had to do in them 3 years.
Yeah.
To
But it
prove
should
to
be hard.
them
It should
that
be
I'm
hard.
worthy of citizenship.
Well, it's even worse when people hear. This is why I say people don't realize that America is actually they provide more opportunities than any other country. You don't get assurance maladie in Quebec unless you've been employed and paying taxes. I think unless they changed it, I haven't been there since 2004, 3 years. So in other words, you do not receive anything comparable to EBT, SNAP, any of that unless you are a tax-paying citizen with a record. They don't let people come there, white or black. Also, they are way more racist than America. People don't realize that. French Canadians, yeah,
Yeah,
they're
French
super
Canadian.
racist.
Yeah,
And the reason,
French Canadians are out there. They're out there, man.
like, my
It's just
experience has
a
been that
different-
Americans are the least racist people of all the countries. That includes Europe, that includes Canada. People think Canada's awesome, but French Canadians hate the Haitians because it's a French colony. They hate the Vietnamese. They're just awful.
That's what I was about to say. It's different pockets that they hate. They don't hate. They
Yeah.
don't hate us, Americans.
Yeah, they don't like Americans.
They don't like Americans.
I didn't
Yeah,
experience that.
Yeah, they talk behind your back.
I experienced it. Well, that may
And it's bullshit, too. They're jealous. They're jealous.
Yeah, I remember. I have to tell a story. When I was doing my master's degree in classical piano, I was doing my master's degree in Milwaukee and in classical music, pianist, right? Because I'm a classical pianist. And there was a French Canadian girl. She was like a red hair French Canadian girl. And bro, the way she used to talk about Americans was crazy. She used to say that we are dumb. We don't understand politics, that supposedly Canada had a better polity. And I'm like, man, I'm like here just thinking about this. I'm like, why in the hell you're here? Why you're in Wisconsin if Canada's much better? And here, when I came here to the mainland, because I'm originally from Puerto Rico, when I came to the mainland, I came here with the idea that I need to make sure that I just integrate more to the mainland culture, to make sure I become a better American. And here you have this Canadian lady coming here and just bashing our system. And I find that that's so crazy. French Canadian, by the way. She was very racist against Americans.
They don't do that here too.
I don't know if that even racist.
No, I know. Yeah, no. Canada's a silly place where, again, it's bigger than the United States with a tenth of the population, and it doesn't have the same kind of diversity that we have here. I mean, when people point to Norway or these countries that have giant social safety nets, it's like take the population of Rhode Island. Hey, and I'm sure you could probably make it work better too if it was 100% black or 100% Nordic. When you have a cultural common ground, it's easier, right? We have a lot more pockets in this country than in places like Canada. It's a beautiful city to visit, though. I highly recommend it. To live there is awful. You want to pay 52% income tax and 14%. What was sales tax when you went? 14%?
Yeah, sales taxes.
You know what's crazy about
Something
it?
like that.
You're taxed on tax. So you have a bill, they tax 7%, total it, and then tax another 7%.
I was about to say they came and got some
Yeah.
more money after we got back.
Yeah, that's socialism
Yeah.
in
That's
Quebec.
socialism.
And I mean, I've buried relatives from their socialized health care.
Which is why we need to fight harder to preserve this country versus, because see, if we keep going back because of our ethnic differences and our beliefs and what have you, we can never move forward. And right now, we are in the fight of our life as Americans. Because let me tell you something right now, there's a huge push to supplant that damn dollar. And if you think that dollar doesn't mean nothing,
Hey, Jackass Wisty, I don't know what you're saying, man. You have to keep the conversation on the topic of the video, though. Thank you so much for the support, but you have to keep the conversation with the topic of the video.
watch what happens when it loses that reserve currency status. You'll see what it's like to have a goddamn currency that's worth nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got to we really got to reevaluate. Listen, we're not going to ever agree on every goddamn thing, but the one thing we got to agree on is that we are Americans, and to the rest of the world, whether you black, white, Republican, Democrat, Independent, or what have you, you know what? They still see you as American. All right. So since we're one and the same, let's figure out what we need to do to address the real goddamn problems. You know. Now, as far as it goes for the young white.
Jackass with another $5 super chat says, I like classical music. My favorite composer, Edgar Grieg. Very good composer. His piano concerto, one of the best piano concertos. And by the way, during his time, at the end of the 19th century, and beginning of the 20th century, his piano concerto was very hated in Europe. But in the America, it was very well known. It was very popular. Very good quintet as well.
I can't speak on his frustration. I simply hope
Just
that,
take
you know
his
what,
money.
we don't repeat the damn mistakes of the past.
All
Because
right,
look
he's a
where it's
sponsor of
gotten us
today's
after all
live.
these
Thanks so
hundreds of
much.
years. We got to move forward.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not asking you to speak for them. I'm asking you guys to consider listening.
Sure.
Because they're at a point where
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this. A lot of young white dudes have had some pretty fucking tough breaks and no advantages, and they grew up in an era. No. Look, everyone has it. Everyone has it.
Nothing about no poor disenfranchised
But that's the
white
disconnect, man,
Ain't nobody
'cause-
trying to hear that, man.
Because-
That's
okay.
real talk. That's real
Okay.
talk.
Well, real talk. 12 times the murder rate. You don't want to believe it? Fine.
I don't.
And that kid's not gonna wanna pay
and you know what
reparations.
else on top of that?
Yeah.
I ain't scared. So you can throw them threats out there all you want.
I know
about
you're
what-
not scared.
About what the young white
I know you're
man
not
might
scared.
do.
I know you're not scared because you're 12 times
I'm
less
not
likely to
scared. I'm
be
not
the
scared.
victim of a violent crime from a white
No.
person than he is of you. That's
But
a fact.
no, I'm more 12 times more likely to defend myself against some bullshit. So if the young white boy come with that bullshit,
Yeah.
I'm gonna meet
Like a
that
woman
bullshit
now.
with some bullshit.
A lot of white
That's
people
what
going
I'm-
into black neighborhoods.
That's what I'm saying.
A lot of white boys going into black
Everybody
neighborhoods.
scared
Looking around.
and ain't
Yeah.
nobody
Just say thank you.
playing.
Let him-
Understand
I think
that?
What you
that's
guys,
what
come on,
happens.
let's real talk. You've never seen a white person come in solo into a black neighborhood and start a fight.
Jackass with the $2 super chat. I like you more now. Thank you so much. Don't like me too close. But thank you so much.
I don't think you've ever seen
I
it.
don't see black people
I don't
doing
see
that.
black- I don't see black people doing
Let's be
that.
honest, guys.
doing that.
You're not afraid of young white kids.
Steve, you saw a white man going to
If you
church
are,
and nine
correct
people
me.
were murdered.
No, I'm agreeing with you,
Yeah.
but I'm also giving you a flip side to that coin that you completely ignored.
No, because he said I'll stop some bullshit from a white. I tell you, young white guys are afraid when they're surrounded by black guys.
Okay, but don't come around black
I'm
guys.
afraid when I'm surrounded by a bunch of white
Yeah.
men. I'm
But
just
that's
not
good.
going
I'm
to
just not gonna
allow my fear of black
I'm
men.
not.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm
Dude,
saying
I'm surrounded. This could be an entire tornado of black
That's
fists
what I'm saying.
raining
I'm
on me
not
for
talking-
saying the
I'm
wrong
not talking
thing.
to Steven Crowder. I'm talking to the boy that you're talking about. The young white boy that
I'm not
you
even saying I
mentioned,
wouldn't deserve
I'm
it.
talking to him. If you're that scared of black people, don't come around black
They're not
people.
scared. They're tired of it.
Well, don't stay
They're
away
tired.
from us.
That's a different.
Great.
Yeah.
You got your
Yeah,
own-
That's
you got
a
your-
very interesting choosing of words. He shows tired of it, not scared, tired of it. That's a different emotion. That is very different because that's what I feel. I'm a little bit tired of the BS. I'm very tired of a lot of these communities not being held accountable. It is a real problem. Not only is it a real problem, it's just it's dividing the country to a point that we don't see the justice system working properly. And it's very frustrating in some ways. It's very frustrating. And they don't want to hear it. That's the point. They don't want to hear it. Look at Steven Crowder, bro. He's like, these people don't want to hear it, man. They don't want to hear it.
All
Great.
areas,
Then
stay
don't ask
there.
them to pay for it.
And we're
No,
not
because
oppressive.
once again,
Oh, so you want them to stay away but foot the bill.
So you got to do that with everything
And now
else
it's
in
the
the tax
kid. Now it's the
code.
boodle and nothing is it. Stay away from us but pay for us. Do you realize that
Once
guy's
again,
going to
you're
hate
ignoring
you?
that other side of the coin. If we're gonna do that, if we're gonna give you that, then you got to go through everything, and you got to give us the same thing. We're not gonna pay for certain shit that we don't agree
Can
with.
I ask you something real talk? While we're having real talk, why do young black men fight in packs?